What is going on, YouTube? Back with another video. Um, we traded today. I did not wake up early. I fell asleep like around 3 in the morning. But I did end up catching a trade, and it was this to the downside right over here. We were in a little bit of drawdown, but again, the way you should be handling your trades is just place your trade, set your stop loss, your TPs, and just let it go, right? So we're gonna be talking about this trade I ended up taking, and dude, there was some pretty good trades happening early in the morning. Like if I had waken up, you do have this simple 2022 model right over here. Let me see if there's an SMT here. No, no SMT. Um, oh wait, this low. No, I don't think there's an SMT here, but Um, yeah, so you do have this 22 model right over here. Price did offer you a fair value gap and offered you a tap in. So you actually could have entered like this. This would have been perfectly fine if you do trade 22 models. This would have been a pretty good, yeah. So your trade would have looked something like this. This would have been pretty nice, right? And you could have set your TP, your final TP here, and then you could have held your runners for a bit, right? So this would have been 171 points. This happened around 7:30ish, 7:40ish. So this was a pretty good trade off of New York AM. In terms of inverse for value gaps here, I don't really see anything as well. Um, you also do have this model right over here, right? You have this fair value gap here. It gets inverse, and we actually came back to revisit it, and then we continued lower, right? But the thing is about this one, why you don't want to take this, or why it's just less probability, it's just because we already swept this low, right? So the fact that we already swept this low, and then we come back up, and then you could have entered, I guess, here. But I don't like the fact that we swept this low. I don't know if anyone took this, but this right here would have been an okay trade off of this retrace here, off of this fair value gap, off of this inverse. I mean, again, I just don't like the fact that we had taken out this low with it, right? If we had stopped around here, came back, retrace, I would have. This would have been a pretty good trade, better than this one right now. So. Mm, let me see. Off market open. There's not really much off market open. There's this right here. I already said. Let me go ahead and delete this. And yeah. So I woke up around 9 o'clock, and I had seen that we're just going up. Like this is just bullish, right? Now taking a long up here is pretty scary. So I ended up just kind of taking a little scalp. I saw the model present itself, so I went ahead and just took it. Again, look at this, just buy side of a curve, right? We have the buy side model right over here on the 5 minute, right? So this is a pretty clean model, right? If you look at it from a higher time frame standpoint. Now the trade that I ended up taking, there's also another trade here on the 5 minute here. That's right. There's a fair value up here that retapped. Um, yeah, you also have this trade right over here, so it's pretty nice. Again, pre- Price has been offering some pretty decent trades early in the morning. Um, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about this trade, why I ended up taking it. So I woke up and I see that we're just so far up in premium. We are just so far up in premium, right? Your external is sitting all the way up here. Um, right? This is your external high. And this is basically, I maybe if price wants to hit this, that's when the model might be complete, and then you don't know whether we want to continue up higher or retrace back down. But from the looks of it, price has kind of just been all over the place in terms of just up down up down up down. There's just been models inside models, right? Like you have a buy side model right over here, and then followed by sell side model right over here, right? So it's just been models within models. Um, so again, as long as you guys stick to your models and in terms of like your trade setups, you're gonna be okay, right? And that's kind of what I did here. So when I first logged on, one of the things I think that has really amped up my trading is being hands off, right? I see some people, and I know some people that just be drawing absolutely every fair value gap, everything. As soon as they see something, they draw every order block, they draw everything. And to me, that has influenced my trading in a bad way. I'm eating some beef, rice, and avocado. Fire. But anyways, once I started being a little bit more hands off, and once you know what you're looking for, that is when you should start drawing, or start placing your lines or whatever. And I feel like that has helped me because once you start drawing everything, you basically start to lose the fact of the bigger picture, right? And you start to take more of like quote unquote light bulb trades, and that's not really how I want to trade, right? If it works for you guys and you're just drawing absolutely everything and you're profitable, that's great. But for me, I have learned that being a little bit more hands off and just watching and just letting the market do its thing. And as soon as I see something present itself that I like, I slowly start to, start like I get my hand, I get on my mouse, and I start to like draw out my, oh, okay, this was an SMT here. If price gives me a fair value gap here, I'll draw it, and then, right, if whether it's an inverse or just a tap into a fair value gap, that's when I start to become more hands on. So I think that has definitely helped my trading a lot. By the way, we are up on the account. Oh, this is a new one that I just had started. Sorry, someone called me. What was I saying? All right. What was I doing? Oh yeah, trade. Um, oh no, right. We are up on the account. We're up 613. I took one trade today, and this is the trade I'm going over. Right. So being a little bit more hands off has definitely helped me. And I'm pretty sure it could help you guys a lot too if you're having issues with just like being too lost in the sauce, right? Just wait for your models. If you know what your model is and you know what you're looking for, you're gonna be good. You're gonna recognize the model. And if you miss it, there's always tomorrow, right? There's no need to gamble on some, oh, I think this might work, right? Stick to your models that have high probability, and you're gonna be solid, right? So we're so high up in premium. Obviously, I don't want to trade against the trend, right? But price is just not gonna go straight up, right? It kind of has to retrace a little bit. And what really I was playing off of here is, so we ended up coming back down, right? We retraced. We ended up tapping this fair value gap right over here. Right here, we ended up tapping. We continued higher, right? And now we actually entered and turtle soup this high, right? We did not close above it. So this is buy side. Buy side gets taken out. And on top of that, we have an SMT with ES, right? So we go on to the 1 minute, and this is my model. This is one of the models I like to trade, right? So turtle soup, right? Sleep of liquidity, SMT, and we're so high up right now. What I'm focused on is playing a retracement. Now, where would I want to be retracing towards? You can retrace to a low, right? So I could have targeted these lows down here, or I could have targeted fair value gap, right? And this is the fair value gap that I wanted to see. This big 15-minute right over here. This 5-minute right over here, right? Just because we kept tapping into it, Now, what I wanted price to do basically after this, right? So this is telling me after we turtle soup this, we caused a little SMT, and on top of that we had an expansion candle to the downside. I was like, oh, okay, let's see if my model starts to show up, right? So we come back down. We kind of swept some liquidity, but not really any important liquidity. Like, I don't count this as engineered lows. I count this right over here as an engineered low. So let me move this. I count this right here as an engineered low, right? And this one as well, right? I don't count this. So I had my TP set out here, and really what I wanted to price to really do was kind of just retrace back into this 5 minute. But again, we also had this 1 minute sitting right here that we had tapped into initially. So this move up, right? This move up right here was sponsored by this expansion candles and these fair value gaps. Okay. So there was a reason for us to go up, and now there's a reason for us to go down, right? So where is my draw of liquidity? Well, on the higher time frame, we're bullish, right? I don't want to trade against the trend, but I actually did, but I did have conviction. And why did I have conviction? Because my model played out. So we do have a fair value gap here, right? So this gets inversed initially. Then we ended up coming back up into this fair value gap here that was created by an expansion candle. We ended up coming back up. We don't end up closing above it, right? So this is telling me, so this turtle soup and this SMT is still being validated, right? This is still valid. There's a reason for us to retrace back lower and then potentially continuing up higher, right? Which is basically what we did. So I see this for value gap. We didn't close. I see it's inverse, and I entered off of this inverse right over here. And I was like, okay, let's see what happens here. So it was a little bit of chop. We were in a little bit of drawdown, and then price, came back down and then came back up. And then boom, we started to see the moves back to the downside. Ended up TPing here. I ended up doing my final TP around over here. And so why would I want to TP around here? Just because we have this fair value gap here, right? We could have easily just done this, right? So entered here, chop. Oh, let me just draw the chop, right? We could have done this and then continue higher, right? I don't know if you want to validate this, and I don't want to take it. I'm already up in money. I already made my 200 for the day. So I just got out there, right? So this was my trade for the day. This is the trade I ended up taking. This was for a calm, like 30-ish points. RR was around 1.4. If you draw to this, is 1.1. So decent RR. I could have moved my stop loss just above this high just a little bit too, but that still would have messed up my RR. Is not 1.1 anymore. Unless I move this down, of course, right? Let's see, what is 1.19? Yeah, so it's still, this is a 1.1 if I were to move it still, and this basically lines up. So this would have been fine. Again, price doesn't even come back down to this 5 minute. There's probably like an SMT here or something, and then that sponsored the move upwards. But that is it for this video, guys. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. Hope you guys are enjoying the trade recaps and kind of just the way I see things. Give me a sec. All right, I'm back. Sorry. This was a trade, and again, I think a lot of people should start implementing being a little bit more hands off, right? We're supposed to be observers of the market. We're not supposed to be trying to predict it. We're supposed to react to the market, right? Right. If you have set models and if you know what you're looking for, and if you've back tested those models, or if you've taken it from like YouTube and then you've like kind of made it your own, and you've seen some like good probability of those models hitting, right? And all the models are not going to look the same, right? There's going to be different adjustments to them. But the fact is the general thing is going to look the same. So this right here would have been the same thing as if like down here, but just reversed, right? So there could have been easily a turtle soup down over here. There could have been an inverse, a fair value gap retrace, and then back up. But it's just, this is going to be just different variations of each model. And the important thing is that you just practice, get some screen time, and just realize and just make sure you're able to recognize the model when it appears, place the trade, set your stop loss, set your TP, and be hands off, right? You don't want to be adjusting stuff. You'll only really want to be managing your trade, whether if it's like TP and stuff, or if you want to add to your losers. If you want to remove your losers and add to your winners. Sorry. Other than that, honestly, I think you guys should start being a little bit more hands off. It has helped me tremendously. I'm not drawing a bunch of junk, and it kind of keeps me remaining calm in terms of like whether I want to trade or not, right? Because if you have your hand on your mouse and you're always drawing every fair value gap, every order block, every this, every that, you start to add like this I don't know, this like implementation to your brain, and your brain starts to pick up like, okay, yeah, this might be a good trade. This might be this might be that, right? And then you start taking some trades that don't even make sense because you're drawing all of these things that, you know, because you start drawing all of these things that don't really have value, and you end up losing, right? So I think I really do think being a little bit more hands off when you're trading and kind of just literally just watching the market do its thing. And if you see something you like and you see your model potentially start to appear, that's when you start to get active, right? And if your model doesn't play out, erase everything and go back to continue watching the charts, right? So I think you guys should start practicing that. I've been practicing that for quite some time now. I barely draw anything, and to be honest, I don't even clear my charts. Look at this. Like, this was the trade recap from last time. Yeah, you see, all of the stuff I have drawn out is basically from my trades, right? I you don't see anything extra. Oh, you see this right here, or maybe I don't know what this was, right? I have not cleared out my charts. I'm gonna clear out my charts because I hate having a bunch of stuff on my charts. But for the most part, again, like, I don't have a bunch of extra stuff on it. I don't have, like, it's not all messy. You know, simple is clean, right? Simple goes a long way. Little goes a long way, and I think that has just being hands off has definitely helped me out in terms of, you know, not wanting to place a trade and I'm not even waiting for my setup, right? I'm drawing every change of state of delivery. I'm drawing everything. I'm drawing every market structure shit. I'm drawing everything. And then my brain starts to think like, oh, okay, this might be a good trade. And then you end up getting fried on that trade just because you're not even waiting for your model and you're not even following what you're supposed to do because you already know what you're supposed to do. And I'm just saying, like, if you're just like this, watching the charts, you're good, right? Because literally what you're waiting is you're waiting for your model to appear. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Obviously, everyone makes mistakes and stuff like that. But oh, someone's calling me again. Hold up. But yeah, I'm in this video. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys next week. And yeah, peace. Bye bye.